We are grading every single NFL draft class based on three categories. First of all, we're going to grade based off of whether or not the team drafted the players that fit their needs for next season, as well as the overall talent that they got, just assessing the draft class as a whole. And then finally, the value. Is each player worth where they were drafted at? Were they a steal at that position, or did the team maybe reach a little bit and not get as good a value as they could have if they had traded the pick? And then after that, we're going to go ahead and give them an overall grade. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
With another year under Mike Tomlin finishing above 500, but still no playoff success, and both starting quarterbacks out, the Steelers came into this draft class needing a starting quarterback, a cornerback, wide receiver, running back, and offensive tackle. But with their first round pick, they took defensive tackle Derek Harmon, and I can't say I blame him because now this defensive line with TJ Watt, now Derek Harmon is absolutely lethal. Derek Harmon is just a ginormous man, 6'5", 313, led a very good Oregon defense last year, and also just an amazing person. I don't know if anyone followed with him, but he, with his NIL money, his first purchase was a machine that was able to get his mom into and out of a van easily so she could come to games or just travel really easily. So overall, just a great human being and a phenomenal football player. Excellent pick for the Steelers here.
Yeah, they didn't have a second round pick. And then with their late third rounder, they grabbed Caleb Johnson, second round talent, and overall a really, really good running back out of Iowa. I think this is going to be a really good pickup for the Steelers. They lost Najee Harris to free agency, so the running back room's kind of thin. This is definitely going to be a big pickup, and I think he's going to get a lot of playing time.
He could have been the number one running back in any other draft class. He just happened to be in an absolutely stacked draft class. With their fourth round pick, they bolstered the defensive line once again, this time taking edge rusher Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Another very interesting pairing alongside TJ Watt. He's a great personality. If you've seen anything covering Jack Sawyer at Ohio State, I think he's going to fit the culture really well for the Steelers, but also on the playing field, I think he's really, really talented. Maybe not as a pass rusher as good, but very good in the run game and also has very active hands. I think he batted down maybe like a dozen passes over the course of last season. So a very successful pickup for the Steelers here.
Yeah, next they grabbed Yahya Black out of Iowa. So far, 4 for 4 on Big Ten players, and 3 out of 4 of these have been defensive linemen coming into the draft needing 4 offensive positions. So a little bit interesting there. This one is a little bit of a reach as well, but Iowa's known for their defense, so I don't think it's that risky necessarily to take an Iowa defensive player, especially on the line. This is going to be a pretty solid depth piece, I think, just because of how stacked this defensive line is now. But he should see a little bit of time rotating in throughout the season.
What's better than 4 for 4 on Big Ten? 5 for 5. And they took quarterback Will Howard, the national champion from last year out of Ohio State, to possibly be their starter unless they get a free agent like Aaron Rodgers a little bit later. But I think this is a great pick. I think Will Howard is definitely very underrated in this draft class. Like any other year that a quarterback goes in and wins a national champion in their only season out of the transfer portal, I think they're instantly going to be at least a second round pick. So getting him in the sixth round with his dual threat ability and just his amazing completion percentage, I think is an absolute steal in the sixth round.
Yeah, and their sixth pick to start off the seventh round, another Big Ten player, taking Carson Bruner, linebacker out of Washington. This one, a slight reach, but overall should be a pretty solid depth piece in the secondary. So can't really hate it. And I think he's going to be a decent addition to the Steelers defense. Maybe we'll see some playing time, but definitely a little bit of a development guy.
And then with their final pick, just 3 picks later, they took Dante Kent, corner out of Central Michigan, their only non-Big Ten draft pick. He was projected to go undrafted, but did play 48 games for Central Michigan. Finished his college career with 47 passes defended, and was also a huge special team player. So definitely going to get some playing time right away on special teams, I would imagine. But for addressing the cornerback need, I wouldn't say this is the best option they could have gone with. I definitely think they could have addressed it a lot earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll even see the field as a cornerback. He might just be a special teams guy with how late they drafted him. Needs wise, only going to be a B minus, largely due to that stuff that Connor just talked about, as well as not drafting a wide receiver or offensive tackle. Talent wise, though, it is going to be an A minus. A lot of really, really solid players in this class. I would say everybody all the way up to Will Howard was an incredible pick. The last two maybe just slight reaches, but I think that they're going to end up fitting, needs that the Steelers wanted to address. So that's why we're going to give them a B plus for value. No crazy additions as far as getting somebody way later than they should have gone, aside from Will Howard. But they also didn't really reach outside of the seventh round. So overall, it's going to be a B plus draft from the Pittsburgh Steelers. A really good class overall.
Yeah, I really would have absolutely no complaints with this draft class. All of these picks, for the most part, were very, very good and have a lot of potential, either from day one or in the long term. Getting Will Howard as their quarterback for right now, even if he's not who they want to be the projected starter, definitely going to be very solid for them next year, along with all the weapons on offense and defense that they have. So, once again, very solid draft class for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you in our next video.